Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's What's the Odds with Steve Ranazizi, May 12th, 2021. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms out there. To our mama, Emma Edbrick, Brink.
Someday it'll be right. Someday
doesn't matter. It's all about the thought
Fix it
that
in
counts.
post.
Yeah.
And she's here with us. Thank God, fixing the ones and twos for us. Lucas Hurl joins us, and fresh to death. We were talking with that. I mean, that's like
fresh cut. The ultimate fresh cut of buzz.
Dude, it's like Bennifer's back. The Caesar's back. You brought the Caesar back now. I mean, that's as close to a Caesar. That's George Clooney ER, if I've ever seen it. Or Jarhead, which is probably the Bennifer time as well. And then the opposite of keeping it fresh is Brenton Biddlecombe, who honestly at this point, I mean, it looks like, and I'm not going to make any assumptions here. And again, we are very open and we are very honest and we are very loving on this podcast.
That's right.
But it does look like
says forever, Brenton.
This looks like what Caitlyn Jenner looked like when she was still brusque, right? Heading towards, like, the hair came first, then the nails got longer. Then we saw less and less Adam's apple. And then before you know it, it was just tits and pussy then. And we were just supposed to be absolutely cool with it. So, like, what I'm saying is, and again, if this is the case, please, there is no judgment. We are with you and supportive 100%. But if you have something you'd like to tell us, don't feel like you can't.
I do, actually. I'm putting my hat in. I'm running for governor of California.
Well, you wouldn't be the first crazy person to do it. You got Caitlyn Jenner, and
you just have to have the look, and I got the look.
The guy Cox that has the bear in his commercials. So those are the only two people I know running besides Gavin Newsom, who I assume has to run again. And he's considered the pretty boy. So yeah, Lucas, you're the Gavin Newsom of this podcast, and Brenton, you're the Caitlyn Jenner. And I'm the guy I'm the guy with the bear, the crazy guy with the bear. If this was like sort of an election, and Emmett's going to be the person that actually wins. Here's the deal. We don't normally start the podcast off with hockey news, but I feel like this could be the top. This is top news right now. Brenton has some news about the horrible happenings in Buffalo with Eichel, your star player who doesn't like the way he's being treated, even though he's hurt, who basically said in a statement, "I'm just trying to get healthy for whatever team I play for next year." That's not a great sign. Not great. Then you got the down south Rangers, who fired everybody, fired the president, fired the GM, and now has fired the coach. And look, they were a team that was supposed to be young but competitive, and it wasn't that way this year. They have the pieces. I feel like the Rangers have the right pieces in play. They feel like they have a goalie. They've got some great young stars. They've got some older guys, Kreider and guys like that really, that know how to win. But it didn't happen this year. But I do have a prediction, because that's what this thing's about. The next Ranger coach will be Mark Messier. 100%.
Really?
Yeah. I say that for a couple reasons. One, I've seen in interviews that he, talks about. He was interviewed about the whole Wilson thing last week with the Rangers getting knocked around and having no one. He basically blamed them and saying, like, they don't have anyone to combat that sort of physicalness in in front of the goal. They've focused on getting playmakers and fast guys and skilled offensive weapons, but as far as like having a guy that can knock someone around, and when you need to knock someone around, they don't have anyone like that. So he essentially was kind of criticizing the organization. And then, they asked him if at that point Quinn was still the coach. So, he didn't say like, "Oh, I don't want to take anyone's job, but of course I'd be interested." He goes, "I wouldn't." And I think he even went as far as say, "I'm not interested in just coaching in the NHL, like becoming an NHL head coach. I'm interested in coaching the Rangers." So I feel like with a name like that puts their name in the hat, and you obviously know that they would like to have that job, and it wouldn't be that much of a we have to try to talk Messier out of X and Y and Z. it's like, no, he said he would probably want to do it. So I'm like, look, how do you say no? I know he has no coaching experience, and it may not be necessarily what is best. I don't know. I don't follow the Rangers as closely as as I should and as I probably will in the future. But yeah, I mean, how do you say no to a legend? It was almost like if I know the Yankees have done it. The Yankees did it with Don Mattingly when they interviewed people, and they interviewed Mattingly, and it was like when Mattingly didn't get the job, when Girardi, I think it was Girardi got the job over Mattingly, I was sort of like, oh, fuck, that's kind of a, woof. But, sometimes you have to just do what's best for the organization. In this instance, I don't see anyone coming in and saying Mark Messier shouldn't be our guy. I mean, he's the last guy to win a Stanley Cup there. He's been a winner in everything he's done and every situation you put him in. So what would make you think he would not be a great head coach? The guy has lived, breathed, slept hockey since he was fucking born. There is no drill. There are no practices. I mean, there are, I don't think there's anything that he can't pick up as, he'll have great assistants that really X and Y's and, and get things out but as far as like knowing how to play winning hockey, who knows that better than Mark Messier? What do you think?
I mean, it's a situation that it's boom or bust because he has no coaching experience. It's either going to be the greatest thing that ever happened. It gets fans excited, maybe makes players want to play for him. You get some fresh people coming in on discounts, but also not being a coach, not having experience, it could go to shit really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, how's the guy interact with the young players? Is he like cool, or is he going to be strict? Is he going to discipline, or is he going to lose the locker room? There's a lot that could go wrong, but
yeah,
if it works, it's going to be the greatest thing that happens to the Rangers.
But conversely, if you hire somebody else, right, and the Rangers don't live up to what they, the fan base thinks they should be doing, you go on a losing streak here and there. There will be calls knowing because the whole fan base knows that Messier probably would take the job and wants the job.
Yeah.
There will be cries for that to happen. What I'm saying is he will get more leniency. It's almost like in stand-up when it's like you see a famous person who you don't really know that does comedy go up on stage and they say something kind of funny at the beginning. You're like, oh, this person's fun. You give them a little more leeway rather than just some, a no-name person or a person that's not familiar with everyone. So he will have more a leniency for the fan base, but again, I don't know if he's the best choice. But again, what the fuck? What do I know about who should be coaching these guys at the level?
I didn't think what all the options are. Yeah. I think if there is a good option out there with experience, you hire him, and then if it goes to shit, bring in Messier halfway through the season.
Definitely go through the process.
It sounds like he's just going to wait for the phone call. So it's not like you have to worry about 10 other teams trying to grab him before you get him. Go get someone who is a coach, and if it doesn't work out, plan B.
Plus, he's probably like, he'll bring back some of that 1990s swagger. Like, he'll be like, where are the whores?
Yeah.
Like the pre-Giuliani New York City. He'll be looking for glory holes in Midtown and shit. I'm sure he hasn't
like his assistant coach.
I'm sure he's been back and he's seen the changes, but like he'll bring some of that grittiness pre-Giuliani fucking grit back to the fucking city. That leftover Ed Koch shit, that Dinkins shit, like that
Sean Avery.
Yeah. Like, hookers and blow and the shit that we need. Shit that happens in Madison Square Garden. We need that back there again. All right. Plus, Europeans love to fucking party. Drugs are and most of these guys are Europeans. Canadians, you got to get them out of the fucking, you got to get them all liquored up to get them out. But they'll get out. They'll party. I party with Canadians before. Let's have some fucking 90s fun again. Hire Mark Messier. What's happening with the dumpster fire that is Buffalo, though? Is it over there? Should they pack it up?
They probably should. I don't know if you saw this stat, but the Bills won 15 games this past season. The Sabres won 15 games this past season with a lot more games played. So it is as bad as it's been, and they've been at the bottom for almost a decade. Eichel's been there, I think, 6 seasons now. They've done literally nothing to build anything around him. There's no continuity. They get all this young talent that comes in, and it just has become a revolving door. The Taylor Hall trade was a disaster, and now he's thriving in Boston. So what I've heard is he's been injured. He wanted to get surgery. The team doctors have told him no, so he's just kind of sitting on his hands. I didn't know that was a thing, that they could refuse him surgery. So he's not happy about that. He's not happy about how he's been handled this season. He's not happy about how the organization's gone. And it sounds like I wasted a bunch of money buying his jerseys, because he's out. There's no way they keep him.
He bought me dinner one time at I think it was called
Maybe he'll go to
Mama's.
the Rangers.
Look, that'd be great. Keep it in New York.
He's-
Keep it, he
Steve,
knows the tax code.
Yeah, I've been going to games for a long time. He is by far the most fun and talented player I've ever watched. He's going to kill it somewhere.
If they do lose him, and they will, it's pack it in, dude. Because if you can't get, they were talking about Eichel and what it was a big year. It was Eichel and the other guy, right? That came out the same year. I can't remember his name. The guy that went to Winnipeg, right?
He went to not Winnipeg. He went to
Edmonton.
Edmonton, yeah.
Edmonton, yeah. Jack. No, that's Jack Eichel. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's like, if you can't get those guys, were like considered like Gretzky and Lemieux coming back out of Canada again. If you can't get one of those guys to get your franchise to build around a person like that, 6 fucking years. Come on, man. Come on.
They've had basically a top 5 pick every year.
And the writing's on the wall when they say that the team that's not even a fucking team yet in Seattle is worth more than you are.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, dude. It makes no sense. It's really bad. I mean, the poor Oakland, they're like, baseball's like, you got to find a new place to play, dude. You can't play in that dump anymore. And it's like, you keep telling us Oakland's going to build you a nice thing down by the fucking river or whatever's down there. It's not happening, Oakland. They're never going to buy you that fucking stadium. Okay. You're not the Warriors. Okay. You did not attract the Moneyball type of play, did not attract the Silicon Valley billionaires. And that's it. Rogue, it's too late, Rogue. It's too late. Okay. They're going to move to Montreal, North Carolina, Nashville, Las Vegas. It's too late, Rogue. You should have bought fucking tickets when you had the chance. Nobody wants to sit on a sunspot in the middle of Oakland with no shade whatsoever in a parking lot, a glorified parking lot stadium. That's what it is. So it sucks. But as far as Buffalo's concerned, dude, it's terrible that they're never. I mean, look, the Bills will win a Super Bowl. I promise you that, guys. I know that's why you don't, put some lead towards your head. So I understand that, and they will. Trust me. I would tell you if they wouldn't, so that we can get this done earlier. You got to move on. But the Sabres are it's a beyond terrible franchise. Beyond terrible. Probably the least valuable franchise
Steve,
in sports. If you could buy one sport,
same owners. That's why it's nuts. It's the same owners who came in. They turned the Bills around. The Bills were basically in the same position. They were in that 8-8 purgatory forever. And they came in and they fixed the Bills. And whatever they're doing with the Bills, they're doing the exact opposite with the Sabres.
You know what it is, dude?
It's so frustrating.
Everybody talks about the pressure playing in New York City and the big markets and things like that. Yeah. Yes, there is pressure. And it does come with a price. But you know what it also has? There's no one in Buffalo. Everyone's like, fucking, we'll try it again next year. We'll try it again. It's like, at some point, you have to have people that are like, fuck, we're done, dude. We're done. We're not coming anymore. We're not buying tickets anymore. We are no longer a loyal fan base, because this is the shit you keep serving us year after year after year.
Yeah.
At some point, it's like,
this was Rick Jeanneret's last season. 50 years of calling the Sabres game, so he's out. He had to sit through the last decade of Buffalo hockey.
Is that the DJ that said I like my women like I like toast? Easy, Rogue. Don't repeat it, please. I don't want to get canceled.
No, Rick Jeanneret's a Hall of Fame broadcaster that's been with the Sabres basically since their inception. He did radio, and for the last few decades, he's been doing their television broadcasts. He's the guy who famously coined Top Shelf, where Mama hides the cookies.
Got it.
The La 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 Fontaine, the Mayday, a lot of famous calls over the years. and he like inflicts his voice. He's one of the greatest broadcasters ever.
I think the in-house announcer, the guy that does the ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the guy that got busted for the like women like a Rogue, please. I'm sorry. God. It's like she's my lawyer. She just like constantly is worried about me.
I might have to leave we had a postman at the door, so now it's.
Did you get your second
podcast.
shot yet?
I did, yeah.
How do you feel? You're fully vaxxed now. You know you can get a haircut.
I felt. Why would I get a haircut?
Because you look like you're transitioning.
My mother?
No, I'm a friend. I'm a friend that at some point your hair is going to be longer than Emma's, and then we're going to have a real situation on our hands.
I've had.
I don't know which box.
And we can sell my hair to the Patreon people, and they'll think it's Emma's.
They'll know the difference. Trust me.
I'll just use her shampoo. Please.
She will never give that secret out to you. She doesn't shampoo with normal shampoo. You see those locks?
I shampoo with pure gold.
She has some sort of potion that she makes in the woods out in the back.
It's true.
She shampoos once a year, dude.
I shower once a year.
See?
Whether it's necessary or not.
By the way, you think you're losing fan base, you're actually gaining it.
No,
the people
I know.
that listen to this show, it's like it's only gonna get worse.
Don't worry, DM me. I'll sell you the bathwater.
Oh boy. I want a percentage of that, please.
Of course.
Let's move on, please. Let's move on to all right, let's do the NFL schedule got announced today. So that's cool. I mean, I think the Giants open the Bears. Giants and Bears September 12th. Which should be, they made a trade, so that's cool. I guess that's why the NFL's like, ooh, that's a cool matchup. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Is it Giants Bears? I thought it was Bears and somebody else Sunday night, and I don't think it was
I thought it was Giants Bears.
I could be wrong.
I got it right here. I have
follow
Bears,
the Giants
Rams.
on Instagram.
Yeah, Bears Rams are Sunday night.
You got Giants Broncos week 1. Afternoon
Giants
game.
Broncos, exactly like I said. Giants Broncos, a matchup everyone wanted to see. Two teams with quarterback questions.
You're in a much better position, though, I think, than the Broncos.
Who knows?
Unless they get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Hello. Has that changed at all? Do you think have you seen any movement on that?
We're still waiting. No updates.
Devontae Adams supports him, said that, whatever he does, he'll kind of go with him.
Of course he will.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think Aaron Rodgers loves to hear that? That's even more. You're not just losing one player now. You're going to lose two. Didn't they learn from Houston when they traded fucking Hopkins? How Deshaun Watson was like, what the fuck? The same thing's going to happen. Go look at it, Green Bay. Go look down in Houston. See if you want to be a season ticket, Texan owner right now. Not me. No JJ Watt. Probably no Deshaun Watson. No Hopkins. What are you going to look at? Who do they have? A running back?
They've got 17 running backs all over
17,000 running backs and no one to hand them the fucking ball. So look, this is what it is. You better get your shit together, Green Bay. And I think it's too late. Again, I'm going to get off my high horse about it, but I think the Broncos, it's still not a week 1 win guaranteed. The Broncos could still have Aaron Rodgers. They could still, get shit together with who'd they draft? They drafted Fields, right?
Who? Denver?
Denver, yeah.
They took Surtain.
Oh, they took Surtain. They don't even have. Oh no, they traded for a quarterback, right? Bridgewater.
Yeah, Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater. That's what it was. Teddy fucking Bridgewater.
But it still might be Drew Lock there.
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? That's why there's no. What games stick out to you guys as far as big matchups for the Bills?
I didn't even look at the
Bills
schedule.
Bills Steelers week 1. We got the Saints Thanksgiving. We have 3 primetime games. New England. We play Tampa Bay, I think, week 14.
Can I make a prediction right now? Will you give me 5-1? No, 8-1 odds that Najee Harris runs for 100 yards against the Bills in week 1 next year. 8-1 odds.
I'll take that.
100 yards from a
100
rookie.
yards. Week 1 against the Bills.
And we just stacked up our D line.
Yep.
Yeah, I would take that.
8-1.
Yeah.
$50.
Okay.
Done right now. Lucas, you continue to eat nothing. You want a piece of this action too, Lucas?
Yeah, I want in. Behind that shitty line, I'll take that bet.
Great.
I love
Najee-
Najee Harris, but that line's terrible.
I'm telling you right
And I
now,
think-
dude.
Also, we don't know that Najee Harris is necessarily going to be the starter, and we don't know that he's going to be the workhorse in an offense.
That's why that's why I need
used
8-1.
all of their running backs. So
That's
yeah,
why I
I'll
need-
take that. And it's rushing yards, not all-purpose yards. Rushing yards.
Rushing yards. Shove it down your throat, Biddlecombe.
None of that.
Shove
I'm going to
it
pass
down
it 2 yards
your
behind the line. He
throat.
breaks a tackle and runs for 40 yards receiving. No, it's all rushing. 100 rushing yards week 1.
Great. And if he has over 150, you got to give me 16-1. How about that?
Okay, what if he has less than 50?
Doesn't matter. I'm putting my neck out there, dude, on the line.
Sounds
5
like I'm
months
putting
before the
my neck
season.
out there.
No.
You're losing $50 either way.
Yeah, but I'm
putting
thinking he's going to
three
have
figures out there.
He's going to have who's the running back for Kansas City that had the big week 1 last year?
Fuck.
We know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
the rookie.
Clyde Edwards.
Clyde
Edwards
yes.
Helaire.
That's my prediction, that he is next year's Clyde Edwards, and he goes off week 1. Boom. Against your beloved. And I'm not saying they're going to lose the game.
But
I
Clyde
think
Edwards,
Big Ben will still throw 3 picks.
Lucas,
but-
maybe you can find it faster than me. I don't believe Clyde Edwards rushed for 100 yards. I think collectively,
Dude, he
rushing
had
and
like
receiving.
5,000 yards. You're wrong 100%.
I'm just
Yeah, I think he had over 100.
Absolutely.
let's
He had
see.
100 before halftime, I bet. It was like ridiculous. Everyone was going crazy, dude.
By the
You
way,
say the-
some of
You
the
say
other
the
games-
dumbest things sometimes. The dumbest.
Did you see the first game for Sam Darnold?
No, who is it?
The Jets, baby.
Oh my God. They
Oh.
did it. They did it. And then the Jets are going to have Mr. Handsome, Zach Wilson, coming down.
Yep.
My wife's already like, I want to buy that jersey. And I was like, can you just relax? First of all, he's a child.
Wait, is
Okay.
your wife
so
a
I-
Jets fan?
Her dad is. No, my
Mm.
wife is that guy's real cute. I just saw him get drafted, and could be a nice, like a change of pace thing. So whatever.
Okay, so I got the stats.
And plus,
right
it
here for
bothers
Clyde
me.
Edwards.
So that's also a bonus. Huh?
So Steve, guess how many yards you think that Clyde Edwards had week 1 against Houston last year?
Now we're talking rushing only.
Yeah.
Me? 152.
Okay, Brent.
I think he had 92.
He had 138 on 25.
Thank
carries.
you, baby Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me with knowledge and the charisma to convey it.
And then he didn't have more than 64 yards until he played the Bills when he had 161.
Ooh, another fact that could hurt.
That was a rough
8-1
game.
odds, and you
We had a COVID opt-out, and we drafted 2 guys in the first 2 rounds. They are going to be much better this year, much tighter, Steve. The one place
you
where
get
we were the
that?
weakest. Wait, I just noticed you're not in your normal place. Where are you right now?
I'm in a bunker. No, I'm in my basement, dude, because like I said, there's a lot of shit happening here. I'll have some news in a couple weeks, but trust me, I'm fine. My wife is fine. The kids are fine. But we're just, things are moving around a little bit. So I'm down and not in the garage, not in a hotel room or lavish hotel room, which you've seen me before.
The artwork looks like a hotel room.
Yeah. We had a couple gay guys come in and stage the place for a little bit. So yeah, there's like baskets and picnic wear. It's like, I don't live here.
Is that part
Also-
of the staging? The little
Yeah,
ukulele,
they
or is that
put
yours?
a ukulele and like a women's hat, like just laying like on it looks cool, I guess. But
Like an
I'll-
Instagram picture, but not for
Yes.
hanging out.
but not for living. It sucks. By the way, I want to bring up one before we're not moving on from football because I got something to say about Roger Goodell. But for Mother's Day, my wife wanted to go to this place, and I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. It's called Sugar Factory. The kids wanted to go there too. You guys ever been to a sugar factory?
Walked by it in
You have?
Vegas. You can smell it.
You've been there before, right?
I've
Is there
been to one.
anything You've been to one?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you anything that you noticed about the Sugar Factory?
I never want to
Anything-
go back.
Why? What was it? What was it going on there?
Children everywhere.
Children everywhere. Okay.
And sugared up children specifically.
The drinks are smoking. Like they have like literal like there's like dry ice in the bottom of them.
Yeah, it's a Instagram trap.
Yes, an Instagram trap. Yeah. Which one did
Yeah.
you go to?
I don't even remember.
Plus, and I don't know if this is a thing for just the one. We were the only white people. The only white people. It was like we went to a Methodist church, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like every other restaurant, not really that packed. This we needed a reservation, and they were like, "We walked." I felt like the record scratch when we came in. I was like, "What is going on here?" And I was like, "Oh, is this?" I didn't realize. I believed is the Sugar Factory a black-owned business?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's check.
Check it out.
I went to
Check
the one
it
in
out.
like Century City or something, I think. It was a while ago, though,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the one I
remember.
went to.
Yeah. Is that
Yes.
the only one in LA?
Now it could be because it was Sunday and maybe they do like a brunch thing after or something like that. But I mean,
Right.
it was like I was like, oh, this is it's got to be a black-owned establishment. Like everyone worked there, everyone in there. It was the whole thing. It was great,
The name,
except for
the
the
name
fact that
doesn't sound black.
what is it? I mean, not Sugar
Carissa
Factory, but I'm
David
talking about like the
Ochi?
people that there's like Magic Johnson owned the Sugar Factory or something like that. Everyone in
Yeah.
like the promo videos and stuff, it was like Nick Cannon, Ice-T. So I was like, oh, maybe this is like, you know how like Schwarzenegger and own Planet Hollywood? Maybe this is Black Planet Hollywood. That's what I'm thinking it was. This is Black Planet Hollywood.
I think I went on like
I
a
mean-
Saturday and there was like sugared up screaming children everywhere and I was hungover and it was like a miserable experience.
Really?
I mean,
It
this is the
was-
owner right here.
I don't know. I can't even make a
Doesn't it
judgment.
look like she eats sugar?
I was gonna like, she does not look like she eats a lot of sugar. She's beautiful.
She is,
Yeah.
but she's also like I don't know what race she is, what ethnicity she is. I don't know. So this could be a black-owned business.
Clearly she's running a
Yeah.
banging business, so good for her. Power
Dude,
power to you, lady.
It was you needed. First of all, I go. What we need a reservation for the Sugar Factory? I thought it was like the Cheesecake Factory. I'd never been to one before. And she goes, "Yeah, we had to get the whole thing's booked up." Then we get there. I go, "Oh my god!" I go, "Where?" I go, "Trey." It's just. She goes, "Yeah." I go, "We're the only white people here." And she was like, "I didn't even realize." I go, "This has got to be a black-owned business." I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be here. It almost felt like I'm like, did we take a table from a black person? We shouldn't be here right now. But I looked around. I looked to see if Ice-T owned the place because he was in all the promo videos.
Hey, sugar's for everybody.
What a place to get white guilt. You walk into the Sugar Factory and that's where you have your moment.
I was the only one clocking it. My wife says it's Mother's Day. Don't bother me with fucking political correctness or woke shit. I'm just want to drink and eat. And the kids had no idea. They just, it was like
They
the
just saw sugar.
the desserts they had were the most ridiculous things I've ever like the milkshake.
Yeah.
It's like $30 and it's for it's a vanilla milkshake. My oldest son loves that. The outside of the stein that they bring it in is frozen in chocolate and graham cracker. So you can like scrape
Jesus.
the outside, right? On top of it is a piece of cheesecake. Yep, bingo.
What the
Woohoo!
fuck?
And then the lollipop for Jonah. Jonah's like, I just like lollipops. That one's got a burger hanging out of the side of it.
Yo, is that a sweet? Well, I'm confused. That one is like burger and bake. Is that like? But then there's chocolate on the side.
It's bonkers. That was the thing. Basically, what I'm trying to figure out is what is the vibe of this place. I get and the theme. I understand it's sugar, but it's
I think
almost like
the vibe and the theme is gluttony.
gluttony and over
It's just
consumption.
overboard. Yeah, it's purely American.
Well, we did that on Sunday. It was delicious. And then we ate so much, we didn't even have dinner. And we ate at like noon. And that's for the kids not to even ask for dinner. That was like people were laying in bed for a while. It was nuts. Anyway, speaking of gluttony, Roger Goodell, we just posted something on Instagram with I wasn't even aware of this, but Roger Goodell apparently next week is going to try
He's
try to
going
complete a marathon.
do it.
He's going to
He's
do
not going to try. It's done.
He's going to play
Plan's been
three.
made.
Three, and I believe it's the top three, 1, 2, and 3 in that order. Golf Digest just released their top 100 courses in America. Number 1 is Pine Valley. Number 2, I think, is Augusta, and number 3 is Cypress. He and probably a couple of his Illuminati buddies are going to play all 3 in one fucking day. One day. Now,
Must be
Pine
nice to
Valley.
have that kind of money to travel like that.
First of all, you would need it. Let's think about how you have to get. This is not you're not taking Spirit Airline from place to place. Pine Valley's in North Carolina, I believe, right? Can you look that up, Lucas? I'm almost positive it's in North Carolina. Augusta is obviously in Augusta, Georgia, and Cypress is in Monterey, out in
Pine Valley's in Jersey.
Pine Valley's in
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
So, okay, even better. So they wake up, crack of dawn, 6 a.m. They tee off of Pine Valley. And this is just me spitballing this thing. I'm saying a round's going to take 3.5 hours. 9:30, they're done. They head to Newark Airport, which is probably right there, right? Private plane straight down to Augusta. Land at Augusta at 11:15, on at noon, right? Noon to 3:30. Augusta. Right? Straight to the airport. 4 o'clock, you're on the plane for 2.5 to 3 hours to California, where you probably land now at what? 4 o'clock, 4:30, and then at 5 o'clock you tee off at Cypress and you play till the sun goes down at 8 o'clock. And you could probably get all 18 in.
You're picking up 3 hours going to California.
Yeah, but still, if you get on at 4, it's going to take you.
That's what, like a 4-hour flight?
I think Atlanta might be 2 hours difference.
No, Atlanta's 3.
Atlanta's 3?
Yeah. And it's
all
like
right, so you get.
It's like a 4.5.
So then, yeah, you're probably leaving at 4 and landing at 4, and then you're teeing off at 4:30, and you play to 7:30, 8 o'clock when the sun. I mean, that's ridiculous.
And I think private jets can go much faster than commercial flights.
I assume so.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like like commercials. They always like, oh, how long's the flight? It's like 6 hours and 45 minutes. And you're like, whoa. And then you get on the plane. It's like, our flight time will be 4 hours and 10 minutes. Like, well, what's this fucking extra? It's all built in for the bullshit. All, so they don't have late on their record.
Those private
all the
jets
time.
are smaller and there's less weight, so they can just fucking zip right over.
Dude, I mean, is that insane?
2 questions for you, Steve.
Yes.
Because I know nothing about golf.
Okay.
I've played 2 rounds in my life.
Yep.
You're in your 40s. He's obviously a lot older than you. After 18 holes, aren't you exhausted? Are you physically, is that an issue?
Depends on, okay, first of all, these guys are not walking these courses, okay? They are.
I know that. I know.
They also have caddies and stuff, I assume.
They have caddies. And by the way, when you play these beautiful courses, you want to take caddies, right? You want to do that. I could never do this because here's why. I would want to walk all 3 of these courses. These are for people. This is a feat for people who have played all 3 of those places probably many times before, because those are the 3 nicest golf courses in America, probably top 10 in the world. So you're going to get to do, you're going to want to walk. So they're not going to walk. They're going to take a cart. They'll have caddies that carry the bags and shit. So they can get a round done in 3.5 hours. So when
Plus you can nap on the plane.
And then you nap on the plane, you're eating. So, and all you're doing is swinging the club. If it was me, I'd be tired because I would be walking. If you're talking about a professional player after 18 holes of walking and concentrating that much, they're fucking exhausted. But these guys are not going to be, they're probably doing it just to do it and then talk shit about different holes. This wasn't as nice as it was an hour and a half on fucking 12 at Augusta. It's like the craziest thing you could, talk about was it Robert Kelly, the comedian, used to do this bang bang thing where it's like you go to an airport or you go to a place where you can get multiple different cuisines. And you just go, you do a bang, what do you feel like? You're like, I feel like cheese. I like pizza. And what do you feel like? Chinese. So you sit down, you eat a full fucking pizza, and then you get right back up, you walk over, and then you go order a full thing of Chinese food. And you just
or the fast food bang bang where you're like, I want a Big Mac from McDonald's, but I want Wendy's fries, but I want a Burger King milkshake, and you
Subway,
go get them all.
Whatever it is, you just get them all. Yes. So that's the Illuminati version of that. That's
it's a golf question. Bang bang.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the second question?
So I don't know Roger Goodell personally. I don't know what his mental state is. I know what yours is, and I'm just curious. You know, golf is a very frustrating sport. Let's say second, third hole, he's already having the worst game of his life at Torrey Pines. Is there a part of him that is going to want to quit because he hates golf?
Number one, he's not playing Torrey Pines. Number two,
what's the first course he's playing?
Pine Valley.
Pine Valley. Okay.
Pines.
Number two.
Pines?
If this is the kind of day where you're like, I have so much time to make it up. Who gives a fuck? You know, like it's like you can have a marriage with golf. You could fall in love, out of love, back in love. All within, you're talking about how many? 18, 36, 36 and 18 is what? What is that? 54 holes. 54 fucking holes. You saw how quick I did that. You saw how quick I did that.
You're like a Rain Man.
You had to count with your eyes.
No one could do it as fast as I could.
I said it before you.
No, you didn't.
I just wanted you to get it.
You were using a computer. I used my brain.
What are you talking about? I was using a computer.
Cabeza.
My brain is a computer.
I need to bring my brain in to get more memory. Both my brain and my computer need some more RAM.
Just get some updates.
Yeah, and a couple updates as well. No, it's yeah, dude. I've fallen in and out of love during a practice session of golf before.
Do you ever like play a round of golf and you like start out, it's like not going great, and you're like, you know what, this one's just gonna suck, and I'm just gonna own that it's gonna suck, and you just like whack it and like have a little fun with it? That was the Pasadena
tournament.
Yeah, I put a 10 up, I was like, who gives a fuck after this? And I got 3 birdies on the way in.
Yeah, just like have fun with it and blow
That's it. Now what you need to do is try to get that mentality all the time, and not have to get drunk and high to get there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's how Tiger Woods does it.
Yeah, that's the point. But man, and I hope, I swear, it's like I could just imagine seeing, like, I don't know who the people he's going on this trip with, but like I could just imagine seeing like Nate Bargatze that day, like, never believe where I am. Like I don't want any of my friends to be there. That's my point. Yeah. I don't want Court McCown being like, bro, I can't play Brookside today because I'm doing a fucking 3-way bang bang with Roger Goodell and Jim Irsay and another friend.
Sorry, did you just say you want to have a 3-way with them?
Yeah, as far as Brent's concerned, I could have. Completely losing focus, losing attention. Where are you?
Rogue is missing.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
I have no idea where my dog is, but I'm sure she's fine.
My dog. Mickey turned 14 yesterday, speaking of dogs.
Happy birthday, Mickey.
14 years old. We took him for a walk. He can barely go around the block anymore. We got to go halfway and then come back. I got him some new joint supplements coming in the mail, so hopefully that, you know, he's not like limping, but he's a little slower now. You know, he's 14 years old. Mm-hmm. But yeah, happy birthday to the old Mixter. 14 years. God, I can't fucking believe it. I remember when he was this big. Oh, go find Rogue, dude. Do you know where she is?
Yeah, we got her.
Oh, you did?
Just making sure she's not eating shit off the ground.
Because I was going to send you a ransom
letter. How much shit do you
letter.
have on the ground that she could eat?
She pulls stuff off of everything. She knows how to open cabinets. She knows how to open drawers. It's a fucking nightmare.
So you need to like baby-proof your house.
Basically.
I left a pepperoni in my backpack the other day. What? A pepperoni. It's like a little dog treat. They look like Slim Jims, honestly, but it's a dog treat. A pepperoni. It was in my backpack because we took our dog in the car for the first time. It was a little bribe, like, hey, good girl, you're in the car, you're not panicking, have a pepperoni. But there was an extra one in my backpack that I forgot about, and she chewed the strap off my backpack to get to it.
She wanted that pepperoni. Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, she would sell her soul for a pepperoni.
Oh my, can you not say pepperoni anymore?
Pepperoni.
By the way, this podcast is sponsored by Pepperoni. You want your dog to chew through your bag?
Dog.
Yeah, slap into a Slim Jim for your dog. Speaking of Slim Jims, I thought of Macho Man Randy Savage. Is anyone watching those documentaries on A&E about the wrestlers? I haven't watched any of them yet. No. Well,
never watched wrestling, topic. Steve.
Floyd Mayweather, did you see that? And Logan Paul, they ripped their hat off, and then they're going to fight each other. I think
He
they're
went
going to
and
fight
got
each
a
other for real.
tattoo of it. That's how stupid he is.
Who got a tattoo of what?
Paul, he got a tattoo that said "Gotcha hat" on his leg and a tattoo of a hat.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
From the one small thing.
From the
if
one
he gets
small
knocked
thing.
out by this, I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. We all know why we watch this thing. We watch to see Jake Paul or one of the Paul brothers get their fucking ass handed to him. We're taking Floyd's kill. Oh, please.
Oh God.
Please. Do you I mean, what did you see this when he took it the hat? I mean, the bodyguards beat the fuck out of him. He had a black eye.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't all just fun and games. But I do want to see both those brothers get their fucking heads.
I think it's on his Instagram. He posted a photo of his tattoo.
I guess Mayweather, he's probably going to now take this thing seriously.
Are you going to buy the fight?
When is it? June what? 6th?
I don't even know. I'm still not buying the fight. I just wait. It's on Twitter 5 seconds after it happens.
I'm not on Twitter. I don't have
to watch it live. I don't want to give them money.
I don't go to Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not Twittering.
It's on the internet, Steve. You can find it anywhere 5 seconds after it happens.
Look, I don't believe in social media. I don't believe in a lot of things anymore. Once you can't believe in the Kentucky Derby race, then what good is this planet anymore?
Yeah, this
when
was
you can't believe
120th,
Bob Baffert,
whatever it was, race, and this is the first one tainted.
Huh? But by the way, you know what? Since coronavirus, no one's really bitching about those horses dying anymore. It's like, let's get back to racing. No one really cares. No one's protesting anymore. It's like, let's get this thing going again. And apparently this horse took drugs. It has an issue with drugs, I guess. And that's it. Betha, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it not do drugs. And I don't blame Bob Baffert. If this horse has got a fucking issue, it's got an issue. But I thought all these horses were on drugs. Like, I assume every one of these horses is fully doped up to the, like, I saw this Real Sports thing on when they were going through all these horses dying, that in Europe and mostly like England and Great Britain, they're not allowed to give any drugs or any medication to these horses. Like, they just run all natural, and that's why they're much slower and the races aren't as interesting. Here in America, we like good old fashioned drug up our horses and let's go fucking see. Yeah, go get them. So I assume they were all on them. So
well, this is my favorite quote that Trump had. He said, "So now even our Kentucky Derby winner, Medina Spirit, is a junkie. This is emblematic of what is happening to our country."
He's right, dude.
This is the same dude who bashed my home state of New Hampshire for being a drug-infested den for the opioid crisis. Like, hello, maybe help out a little bit. Let's talk about it. Let's get some mental health support up in here. Let's fix this problem.
We need mental health for our horses.
Yeah,
our fucking livestock can't even stay off this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
our livestock.
The fucking horse is probably depressed as hell. Just made to just run in circles all day. I'd fucking hate myself.
Here's what I say, Steve. We remember how exciting baseball was during the steroid era. I think it's time for horses to have their time to shine. Let's have these races run in 20 seconds flat. Let's see them go 3 miles in 20 seconds.
I mean, they can do it. I talked to a guy that works in Santa Anita. I play golf with him once in a while. He knows a lot about horses. He said this is just because some horses, thoroughbreds more specifically, have, you know, their lungs, when they get too expanded, they start to bleed a little bit, and it'll go through, the blood will leak out, the capillaries out into their lungs and, you know, clog up their lungs. So this drug, whatever this drug that makes the horses not, and it kind of puts like a layer around the lungs so they don't bleed out. And apparently that's what this horse took. And it's not really a performance enhancing per se. It's almost like, well, it kind of is. Like, he likened it to, like, remember when Kobe Bryant used to go to Germany to get that platelet fucking thing? It's like that. It's like it can kind of make you go a little longer than than most athletes could. So
is the bleeding thing a side effect of inbreeding?
Oh, you know what? Probably, but I don't know.
We should stop inbreeding animals for our own pleasure.
So we should, I mean, Yeah, make them marry, like, and do paperwork and everything like that. Like, get fully legal so we can keep track of this shit. Yeah, make them make them get down on one horse knee and make a commitment. That way we know.
Inbred horses, so inbred looking people can go watch them race. Which, by the way, did you see Tom Brady's outfit at the Kentucky Derby?
No, what was he wearing?
Does he look inbred?
Can you pull that up, Lucas? He looked like a fucking
While you're
villain.
doing that, I want to correct something that was stated on the podcast last weekend by one of our Rory McGowan wrote into me about mahi mahi. Ready? Mahi mahi is sometimes called dolphin at restaurants. Definitely in Florida. It is also called dolphin fish. I looked it up. Please explain this to all the dummies on your show.
It's not a dolphin. They're different animals.
Dude, it's called dolphin fish. Okay.
Right, dolphin fish, not dolphin. A dolphin
first
is
of all,
doesn't matter.
His source is Florida.
Thank you, Rory McGowan.
His source is Florida, Steve. There's your red flag.
Oh, they're not a state? Probably the second most populous one.
My cousin has a restaurant in Florida, and he says they're dolphins. They're more dolphins than
Go
dolphins.
look at the
dolphin
census,
fish
dude.
is a nickname for it. It does not make it a dolphin.
Go look at the census. Guess whose dick
What
you're
did
going to be
Steve
sucking
Irwin
for an
say?
extra electoral college vote down in Florida now.
Look, I'm hanging out in Florida right now, and I'm having a great time. It's pretty fun down here.
By the way, what the fuck is he wearing? Is he hanging
he
out with
looks-
Cam Newton?
Click the one where you get like the full body, and he's got the cane.
What?
Just
He looks like a bootlegger.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go far right and find the one where he's holding the cane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
God, he looks like he drinks the blood of children.
He does. Yep. He does.
He looks like
Is that him and Jimmy G together? Is that from this Kentucky Derby?
He's gone to a few of them. He was, I believe, he was there with Gronk, and he probably went with Edelman a couple of times.
Oh, I know. I've seen him with Edelman before.
Edelman had that one year where he won a shitload of money.
Does Giselle go with him too? Or is she like, you know what? I can't even stand when you put those ridiculous outfits on, Tom. You look like a fucking jackass. Who do you think you are? Come on.
Is the Kentucky Derby, like, are the people there? Is it like all white people? It feels like a white people sport. Like, it feels like something rich white people
Sugar
go.
Factory.
Yeah, it feels very
it's like
opposite
something
of
only
Sugar
rich,
Factory.
snotty white people go do.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep. It feels that way. I've never been, but yeah, it doesn't seem like
No, I've never been
big
either. And I
diverse.
don't even think I've watched it, but that's the vibe I get.
Yep.
So if you put your money on the second place finishing horse, you didn't win, right?
No.
You didn't.
That's
Not
what I was
yet.
wondering. Are they going to retcon it?
I don't know. I have no idea how this works.
They would have already had the payouts happen, and people would have already collected their money or not collected their money. So I think a lot of sports books are going to end up getting sued, and it's going to cost them a lot. But I mean, people already collected that picked the winner, and they're not going to pay the money back. I'm sure a lot of them already blew it.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I don't know how this, like, does he ever get to train a horse for the Kentucky Derby ever again? Like, how does that work? Or
Probably not.
Probably not.
the stud fees, those horses, they get a lot of money for fucking after this thing's done. So,
Yeah.
It's true.
they do. They want it. They need that stud fee, just like I get. So yeah, I guess the Preakness this weekend, the horse still gets to run because it's not considered a cheater yet until the second results come back. But what if it wins this one this weekend and then it cheated again, or it's in, like what are we doing here? This is nuts. And then the last one is what's that? The Belmont. It's like we could have a triple crown winner, but that doesn't even really count. I can't buy into it. It's very upsetting. I just want to say this for the record. Since my little rant a couple weeks ago about the New York Yankees, they are playing much, much better. The message seemed to have gotten home. And, look, it's not perfect. The AL East right now is sort of, everyone's kind of 500 back and forth. But I want to get my hands on the Red Sox pretty soon. The Yankees are playing Tampa this week, and then I think they have Baltimore this weekend. I don't know, but yeah, playing much better. Luke Voigt's back. Giancarlo Stanton's hitting the ball well, and the other pitchers now besides Garrett Cole are starting to play better. Sad news about DeGrom. I hope he's fucking okay. I hope this is not a big deal. The Mets are winning 7 in a row. They've won 7 in a row. And and he's not been healthy. But if they can get him back healthy, the Mets are going to be fucking real good again. I Apparently, though, they got into a fight, or Lindor got into a fight with McNeil. I don't know what happened.
They saw a rat.
That's what they said with this ridiculous rat story. There was a rat in the clubhouse, and they had to get out of the, there was a commotion because of the rat. Meanwhile, these guys fucking pulled Darryl Strawberry and Keith Hernandez, beating each other up in the fucking, coke-fueled fights. I'm down with that again. Bring it back. It's the Mets. Who gives a fuck? It's not supposed to be class.
No. You saw Matt Harvey was back the other night too, right?
Yeah, and they gave a nice tribute to him, which is nice. He pitched his balls off for that team for a long time. Took him to a World Series, basically hurt, and they didn't win it, but still, it's like he had a lot of great moments in that uniform, and I'm glad they gave him a nice little tribute. It wasn't long, he didn't have like a long, huge career, but what he did for them for the short amount of time he could do it was really good. They were a really good team, and he was a great pitcher for them. They were like DeGrom starts. You had you didn't want to miss those fucking starts, or they were like almost guaranteed wins for the team, or you were expecting to win every time he went out and pitched. So I'm happy they did the right by him. Yeah. What else? What else we got on the docket?
Did you watch the Elon Musk SNL?
Did I watch it? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I watched it. It was atrocious.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I thought he did a perfectly fine job within the confines of what the writers gave him.
Of course. Yes.
He was
with
delightful.
What the writers gave him.
He didn't stutter his lines. I thought his monologue had a few good jokes in it.
No, but he didn't add anything. He didn't nail any jokes. He didn't you're like, oh shit, there was nothing there. And then Elon Musk kind of added that thing. There was no performance it was as funny as when your boss does a thing at work where it's like, oh, he could play the guitar. He's not he's not Kurt Cobain, but he can play it's like, yeah, you tolerate it. You sit through it. It's
you
not
giggle
something
so you don't get fired.
Yeah, nobody was watching to go, my God, I can't wait to see what comedic choices Elon Musk brings to the fucking stage tonight. It was like, is this guy going to fall on his face, or is he going to say, smoke a joint, or he actually ended up making his own company, or part of his own company fucking go into the gutter, which made me so happy to hear the Dogecoin shit the bed while he was on the show. While he was making fun of it,
the timeline of the episode and the price of Dogecoin, and every moment that made it.
Oh, when I read that, that was I woke up on Sunday. It was like my Mother's Day, knowing that you had lost shit ton of money.
Don't listen to the haters, Steve. It's bouncing back.
Yeah. Again, it will bounce. All things come and go, but it's not something that's sustainable. He couldn't even answer the question on a comedy show. If there was an answer,
that was the joke.
I know.
He did answer it. Listen to the first
joke
two
is there is no
gave.
answer to the question. There is no answer. That's the joke. There is no answer. Who's on first? Yes. We know.
Fair enough, but we're still up 23%.
There is no answer.
So.
Did you think the Mario sketch was funny? I think I'm in the minority. It made me chuckle a couple times.
Here's why it's funny. It's outside the box. And at some point, someone went, what can you do? What ability? They had to ask him, hey, we're so excited you're hosting, but is there any, I don't know how to phrase it, skills, or do you do impressions? Do you do a voice? Do you do and he's probably I can probably do a very, a decent Italian American. And they were like, okay. And he's like, that's so nice. And they're like, great. All right. We'll finally get that Luigi and Mario sketch off the fucking ground. So it's like, bam. I applaud the idea of the sketch and the thought of what it would be the funny, but was the execution who would that be the person? I'm I thank God the right person finally came along to play Luigi. They've been looking for so long, and it was Elon Musk.
Well, he played Wario.
Yeah. So I applaud them for trying. I don't know. I guess the Asperger's thing made a big deal. I didn't know that was
he incorrectly said something, and you know how the internet likes to handle things when they're said incorrectly.
But see, now my question is like, was that him saying that off the cuff? Was that him? Did he clear that with SNL? Did they check into that? Were they like, actually, you probably aren't? Or I mean, like,
I'm sure people just forgot. It's not something that they were thinking about.
What?
And he probably improv'd it. Either somebody didn't fact check or he just threw it in there like, hey, I'm making history.
all right. Well, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the autism community, and I'm glad he did it. I mean, he, like you said, he didn't fucking fall on his face. He didn't laugh the entire time. He got all his lines out. So it's like, he did a good job, but it wasn't like, I was like, oh, what a magnificent piece of art.
It was the third highest rated episode this season behind Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock.
Yeah, because you watch Dave Chappelle because you really want to see what he has to say. You're extraordinarily interested. You watch Chris Rock because it's probably the same thing and he's going to be really funny.
Mhm.
And then this one people watch because they were like, is this guy capable of being a human being for an hour and a half? So,
The first two are professional.
by the way, if OJ, he was
professional
right.
fights, the third one's the Logan Paul fight.
If OJ hosted next week, it would be the highest rated out of all of them.
Yeah.
And you know it, and I know it, right?
Don't be giving Lauren ideas.
I'm just saying. He
He
said it.
did make an OJ joke.
Yeah, and he's right. OJ hosted twice. And by the way, if they asked him to host next week, it'd be the number one rated show on television that week. And so, that doesn't really necessarily correlate to great art.
So what you're saying is we should try to get OJ on the podcast and boost our numbers.
Yeah, of course. Juice, we're out there. If you want to do our mock draft this year with us, please. Well, we're not above it. We're not above it. I can get along with anyone. I really can. I'm not going to invite you. There's not going to be a live draft. I'll tell you that right now. We're not doing it together. We're not going to the back of a fucking Fuddruckers and get to sit in a special room. I can't have people seeing me and you walk in and out together. So, but I will have you on. You can come on and talk about it on the podcast for sure. What else do we have? Oh, I got the playoffs starting this week. Playoffs? Yep. Little League playoffs start on Saturday. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Championship game. And then we go to tournament, the city tournament if we win that. And then All-Stars. God, it never fucking ends. But this year they get rings if they win.
Really?
Yeah. Jonah wanted to see the ring. He goes, those are real diamonds. I go, they are $14 a piece. These are not real. This is real plastic. And he goes, these are he goes, it's heavy. I go, yeah. He goes, what? He goes, what? These, how do you know these aren't real diamonds? I go, here's how I know. Because real diamonds, I bought one before. They cost tens of thousands of dollars. When you buy a championship ring for your team, you're buying like 40,000. I go, do you think we bought each one of you $40,000 rings for competing in Little League? I go, you barely got uniforms. You barely got hats. We have a mound that I have to drag in and out every time. It's not even a dirt mound. So you think we're going to spend $80,000 to $200,000 on rings, buddy? Oh, okay. That makes sense. I go, good. We're using our brains.
He is either going to be the greatest person that ever lives, or he's just going to be so beaten down by the time he turns 18.
I don't know which one I'm rooting for.
Just let him think it was diamonds.
I don't know which one I'm rooting for.
Let the kid drink. You just killed his motivation going into the playoffs.
No, he still wants the ring, dude. He still wants the ring, but in his mind, he believes
but now
if he thought it was real diamonds.
Yeah, but now he's motivated to go get the ring that does have real diamonds in it.
Yeah, I go, you want to win a championship ring with real diamonds? Continue on the path you're on. Continue working hard. You'll play a professional sport one day, and then you'll have an opportunity to win a championship ring. Until then, you're going to continue to get $14.99 rings from the fucking ringandtrophyshop.com or whatever the fuck we ordered these things from.
We need to get a trophy for this year's fantasy season.
I saved this to the end, and I don't know if I 100% want to talk about it, but I did bring up Little League, and unfortunately, okay, I got kicked out of my first Little League game.
No
way.
Yes.
What
Yes.
happened?
And I want to start by saying I'm not exactly proud of it. Okay. I'm not proud of it. I'm not gloating. I wasn't but here's what happened. It was a great game against two really good teams, our team and the other team. And this umpire we have had before. He is one umpire. He's an elderly man. I don't know why he continues to show up. He doesn't look like he's having fun. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. And he had a bad game. I mean, every single call he could have made, he made incorrectly. And I'm talking about the ones that like weren't even for like at one point I'm coaching third and the kid, one of our kids in the batter's box, he ducked down, the pitcher's coming down and he ducked down. The pitch clearly hit his bat. Clearly. We all heard the ding. It went in like the opposite direction and he said it hit his helmet. The kid stands up, he goes, it hit my bat. And he goes, the coaches on the other team are like, what are you doing, Blue? Everyone's wearing a mask. And then he just continues to just go, nope, not backing down, not asking to talk to anyone. So call after call after call, his side, our side, everyone's getting frustrated. We play 6 innings. We're in the 5th inning, the top of the 5th. We're the visitors. We're down by 1 run. There's a man on first and a man on third. 2 outs, and a kid is up. Who's one of our youngest players and a kid who's tried all year long but hasn't had a lot of success. And I'm going, oh boy. So I'm getting aggressive on the third base. I'm like, we got to try to this ball gets past this kid, the catcher. We're going. We got to score this run because we don't necessarily know if this kid's going to put it in play. Well, pitch comes and this kid puts the barrel onto the ball and literally like a big time glorified bunt pushes it right down the first base line. I send the kid from third. I go, run like your pants are on fire, right? He runs. First base muffles the ball. The kid gets to first, safe. Kid on first gets to third. Our run scores. Everyone's going crazy. I go over to the kid on third. I'm like, great job. All of a sudden, I hear the umpire go, out. I turn around, I go, who's out? And he goes, the guy that came home, out. And I go, how? And he said he missed the plate. Now, I said, I go, sir, there's no way. I went running over to him, hands like this, right? Like I go, and by the way, this is all on video, and I'm not going to show it to you because there's kids involved, and I don't want to show kids' faces and all that shit. They don't know, But I have photographic evidence to back me up that this kid fell on top of the plate, right? But also,
I was going to say, can you tell in the video that he hit the plate? That feels like...
You can't tell that he hit the plate from the angle of where the camera was set up, right? But you can tell that he went over on top of the plate. But what you can tell, beyond the shadow of a doubt, is that the umpire, who doesn't bend down to call balls and strikes, that's why he misses them all, who literally stands like this, right, is looking down the first base line to make the call out at first base, which he was going to do, right, until the kid dropped the ball. So he's watching that. He never looked at the ball at the kid coming home. He has no idea. He just saw the other team go, hey, touch home plate. He missed home plate. And then he just literally, I came down the third base line. Our coach came down the first base line and I'm doing this and I'm going, you cannot make that call. I go, in no world did you see that ball, that kid not touch that plate. I know it. I go, you can't. And he keeps just going, duh, I go, don't do this, dude. Don't do this. And then finally he goes, you're out of here. He threw me out. And guys, I'm telling you right now, I had so many emotions come over me at once, right? First, it was like, oh no, what I said I didn't want to happen has already happened. But when like my East Coast just came back, like Billy Martin, Lou Piniella. I go, what do I do now? I go, I get to kick dirt on him. I go, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go because my manager is now he's doing this. He's pushing me, keeping me separated from the umpire, right? And I go, I'm out of here. I go, you should be out of here. I go, you're the only one getting paid to be here, and you're doing the worst job of everyone. I go, nobody else gets money to be here, but you can't stand the fact that you could possibly be wrong, and you may have to talk. And I go, you're terrible. Finally, Tracy, my wife, comes onto the field. She goes, let's go. I go, fine. I leave, right? I leave. It was the end of the inning. It was the third out. So kids are kind of clocking it, but not really. Everyone's sort of doing a thing. I go right to my car, right? Right to my car. And it looked like if you saw me, you'd be like, oh, that guy's going to get a gun. Like I went right to the trunk. And in my mind, I was like, I know in this trunk.
Don't go to the trunk.
I'll tell you why I went to the trunk. I go, I know in my mind, I have one of those glasses. Remember the one Bobby Valentine put on, like the Groucho Marx ones? I go, I know I have one of those floating around this somewhere in this fucking car. I have. So I changed my mask. I looked for the glasses. I couldn't find the glasses, but I changed my hat. I put on a sweatshirt and I came back and I sat behind the, like where the bleachers
put
are.
On a disguise?
Put on a disguise. Because if he sees me, then the team, he can call a forfeit and our team would forfeit, right? So I'm behind the bleachers. No one can see me, but I'm still cheering. And what listen to this. Then Jonah went back out there, right? Shut him down in the last inning. And then the top of the inning, we had Jonah led off with a single. Then we got 2 outs. He was on third to tie the game. The last pitch got by the home plate. He sent him, Jonah, halfway. The third base coach sent him back, right? And then on the last swing, this kid swings, foul tips it. He goes, foul tip. And the umpire goes, foul tip. He goes, oh, strike 3. And that was it. And he goes, wait, he foul tipped it. He goes, no, he didn't foul tip it. Game over. And I was I'm behind the bleachers. I'm like, this is, I was like, I can't deal with, I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. It's not going to change anything. And then we had a team meeting. And then I got in the car with Tracy. I go, was that bad? Was that really? She goes, I'm going to tell you the truth. She goes, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. She goes, honestly, I'm very proud you didn't curse. That was her big thing. She goes, you didn't curse. I didn't use, and I kept repeating the same thing. You're terrible and you don't need to be here. You should not be here anymore. And he got my message. I told her, I go, babe, and look, there was a little, the president of their league called the president of our league and said it wasn't a good look for one of the coaches to get thrown out. And I get that. It's not a good look. I understand that. My wife's like, you have therapy this week. You to talk about it? I go, no. Do you know why? Because I don't tell my therapist about baseball. I don't tell her about where I filter all my anger. I funnel it into baseball.
That feels like the exact thing you should tell your therapist.
As far as she knows, I'm getting better with all the other anger issues. I'm not letting the dishwasher being loaded like a fucking idiot scream about that. I'm not letting the little things bother me anymore. Those things I push off. Oh. But when it comes to this one, I funnel it all into the one person who is getting paid to be at a place where the rest of us are volunteering, sweating, busting our balls to be at, and they can't seem to. I'm not even look, dude. You act like you want to. Like if you're trying, if I see him moving around and going, and you're fucking up calls that way, that's one thing. I would never fucking get on an umpire that would look like he was trying. Or she was trying. I would never yell at another coach and say, fuck you, and start a fight where I get kicked out because I'm going out. I would never do that. But it all gets funneled into this one person who is supposed to be doing their job, and they weren't. And look, I talked to my son after. I go, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. He goes, it was a little embarrassing. I go, I understand. He goes, but you remind me of Phil Nevin. You've got a lot of passion. He goes, and you're a hell of a third base coach, and you've won us more games than you've lost us. So I appreciate it. I go, God damn, what are you, the captain of this team?
Sounds like he should be.
Yeah. But it wasn't my finest hour, but it certainly wasn't my lowest. Okay. I really thought about kicking dirt on him and making it into a spectacle. I'm glad I did.
I want to yell obscenities at this man, and I don't understand baseball or who these people are. And I want to
everyone. But you know what? The kid who scored from third, right? Who definitely scored, who fell on the plate. His mother came over to me. She goes, I'm so happy that you stuck up for my son. I really appreciate that. Not many people do. And you made him feel like someone was on his side, even though, it's not kind of a minor situation. She's like, are you from the East Coast? I go, how did you know?
Because that kind of anger's only born in
the West Coast dads
Northeast, baby.
The West Coast dads are a little bit like, what is
non-confrontational?
Yeah. They were like, apologize. I go, what are you apologizing for?
The West Coast isn't confrontational.
We're on the same team.
Steve, it is
What's
a
wrong with
bad
you?
Look, okay? Everyone's a winner here. He's doing his best.
That's why it's
It
about
was
to
nice
snap
of him to
off into
come
the
out
Pacific
tonight.
Ocean.
It's passion. It's passion for the sport and for the game and for the team that I've grown to love. I want these kids to succeed. They work hard. There's no reason that fucking losers should take it away from them. Damn it.
I agree.
All I'm
Look.
saying is take that same passion and put it into buying better rings next year.
I'll tell you this. We're taking that passion and we're bringing it into the playoffs, and we're going to win those rings. The only way we won't win those rings is if he's the umpire for one of these games, because I don't know.
Can you like hire a different
You're
umpire?
gonna have to disguise yourself.
I'm not in
before-
charge of umpires, but I feel like if we see him again, it ain't going to be good
Who's
for us.
in charge of umpires? Who gets
Not
that
me,
job?
but I want to be. I want to gather them together and go, guys, this isn't us versus you. We can all be better. I can be better, but you certainly can be better. Let's remember who's getting paid. Right? So there's that. But again, not my finest moment. Not something that I.
I mean,
But
were
I
other
look-
people, like other parents, agreeing with you that like he was
100%.
making
Everyone
shitty
agreed with me.
calls?
Everyone. There's no one that didn't agree with me. The only thing you didn't agree with was how I went about handling my business. And if you have a problem with that, like these fucking Karen cunts, guess what? At least I don't write a
Jesus.
review on Yelp. At least I don't go home and bash people behind their back. I got a problem with you. I'll say it to your fucking face. You
Yeah,
suck at umpiring. How about that? I don't need a computer or a screen. You suck. That's my modern day Yelp review.
Hello, East Coast Steve. Nice to meet you.
Woo!
Sorry. It gets away from me sometimes.
I like
guys.
the East Coast attitude. I like taking
Thank
it as
you.
a compliment when people are like, "You must be from the East Coast." I'm like, "Yes, thank
Yeah.
you for
Yeah,
recognizing."
because you understand what I'm saying. I got my point across, right? There's
Yeah,
no
'cause I said it quickly,
wishy-washiness.
concisely, and I got the fuck out of your way when I was
You,
done.
yeah, you may not have liked the way it came about or how I feel about something, but you know what you're not like, ooh, how are they thinking right now? What are they thinking? You got it. I'm not happy. How about that? All right, look, the kids are home. They just got home from school. I got to bring it down. Rogue's upset. Everyone's upset. Let's not end like this.
I'm proud
okay?
of you.
Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. That's the podcast for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be at the Comedy Store tonight and tomorrow night. If you're around the Los Angeles area, Wednesday and Thursday. You probably won't hear this today for the Wednesday, but Thursday, come on down. Come on down to the Comedy Store anytime you can come down. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, the show's still going to be fucking great. But La Jolla Comedy Store, Father's Day weekend, also U.S. Open weekend. And talk to a couple of people, friends of mine, caddies that are going to come to some shows. So get tickets now, because they will sell out that weekend. So shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, you're gonna need a shower, Steve.
Why?
You're pretty fucking sweaty. I
He's
mean,
passionate about Little League.
It wasn't even that bad until you got into the Little League story. Now it's like we were there.
Dude, don't get me started. I'll show you the videotape. I want
to see it.
Yeah.
There's a shot of one shot.
We can blur kids' faces. The people want to see it. Just give me,
I'll
just,
figure out a
just
way.
give me.
There's a shot of the
Or
kid
you can
getting
show
up.
it to you can show it to
Send it
us
to me, and I
we'll
can
give
just
our
pull the
expert
audio.
opinion. Oh,
Okay.
touche.
Oh yeah, that's true. The kid's getting up and it looks like he's touching the plate, but he's not. But I want to get t-shirts of that still moment right there. And next time we see this umpire, all the fans are wearing, because he doesn't know he's being videotaped, but he is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Send me the video. I'll pull the audio.
I'll try. All right. That's the podcast for the week. Thank you very much for listening. I'm passionate. I've got a lot of energy to give, but now once I've given it all, I'm done. And that's all I can give this week. I love you all. Go Giants, go Yankees, go Rangers, go Knicks. Knicks, come on now. Almost beat the fucking Lakers last night. Almost beat the Lakers. And you don't want to fuck with the Knicks in the playoffs. Next week starts the NBA playoffs. And let's see how I'm telling you, the Knicks are going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. How about that for a teaser for next week? All right. That's it. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Go Bills.